but I cheated on my husband with a black guy and now I'm pregnant. Holy shit, there's our baby, and it was me. My bio mom ended up telling her husband at the time the truth, that she cheated on him with a black guy. How do I know that my birth mother's family was racist? And the reason I know that is because she literally told me. Okay, to preface this story, when I say mom and dad, I'm referring to my adopted parents because they're my mom and dad. So my mom and dad were like looking for a baby, trying to adopt because my mom couldn't have kids anymore. She was a little older and had some health issues. So my mom started going to this psychic, which is so random because my family's like very Christian. And basically this psychic like told her things about my brothers, my 3 brothers that my mom had from a previous marriage. Like one of them was going to have terrible financial issues, the other really bad health issues, and the other be a successful businessman. And flash forward to today, that all came true. Like it's all true. So anyway, the psychic told her to go to this random place in Washington, Pennsylvania. I'm from Morgantown, West Virginia. So it's like 45 minutes away from where I'm from. So my parents like rolled up, went to this random address that this psychic gave, and they walk into this like warehouse, and there was like it was like a meeting, and there's this big meeting where people were kind of like sharing their problems and like talking about their problems. So there were like 50 people in the meeting, and the lady running the meeting was like, hey, who wants to go first? So this white, like Italian, Polish woman raised her hand, and she was like, hey, so I'm white, I'm married to a white guy, I have 3 white kids, but I cheated on my husband with a black guy and now I'm pregnant and I'm gonna have this mixed baby and my family's racist, I can't afford it, me and my husband can't afford it. So I wanna give the baby up for adoption, I don't know what to do. And then my mom and dad looked at each other and they were like, holy shit, there's our baby, and it was me.
So there's more to this story, but this sounds a lot like Colin Kaepernick and a few other stories that we know where this happens, where the mother just ends up stepping out for some BBC and then ends up getting pregnant. No protection, no nothing. Let my man raw dog it. And then the husband, in order to not lose it, he stays with the wife after all this time, but has to give the baby up as the shameful such and such and send them on their way. But you have to look at your wife for the rest of your life like this, that she actually had you had to lay next to her with another man's seed inside. It's crazy, but let's get on to the next clip where she further explains it. Let's go.
My bio mom ended up telling her husband at the time the truth, that she cheated on him with a black guy. He obviously wasn't very happy about that, but they said, you know what, we're gonna keep this a secret. We're gonna pretend that this is our 4th baby because they had 3 other children already. So all of their friends and family thought that my birth mother was pregnant with baby number 4. But then they were like, realistically, what are we gonna do when the baby, aka me, was born? And my biological mom was like, I know what I'm gonna do. She said, I'm gonna tell them that the baby is a stillborn. And so when August 31st, 1996 rolls around and I'm born, she obviously gives me up for adoption to the 2 greatest parents I could ever ask for. And then once my parents took me away, she said that her friends and family sent balloons and flowers and cards and all of these things saying, I'm so sorry for your loss, because she had told them that I had died at birth. And I didn't know any of this until the day before I turned 18. But the absolute craziest part about all of this is that they have no idea to this day that I was born. Y'all are asking me, how do I know that my birth mother's family was racist? And the reason I know that is because she literally told me. I always knew that I was adopted, but I didn't know my crazy adoption story until a few weeks before I turned 18. When I found out that my mom had been in contact with my biological mom for almost 18 years, my mom contacted her and arranged a lunch where I could meet her for the very first time. When I met her, it was awesome. She was great. I definitely didn't feel like an emotional connection to her, but it was like so nice to meet her. And prior to meeting her, I had written out like a long list of questions, like what were you gonna name me? Did you even have a name picked out? Is there any medical history in your family? Stuff like that. And then obviously one of the burning questions I always wanted to know was, why did you give me up for adoption? When I asked her that, she was like, well, you can see I'm white. I was married to a white guy. I had 3 white kids, and I cheated on my husband with a black guy. And my family wasn't gonna be having any of that. And she proceeded to tell me that her family was like low-key racist. And she straight up told me that I would not be accepted in her family. And while that stung at first, honestly, I'm okay with that because she gave me the best life. I don't think you'll understand how amazing my mom and dad really are. You can hear the story or look at the situation and be like, oh my God, that's so sad. You weren't gonna be accepted, yada, yada, yada. That's not how I look at it at all. The way I look at it is she knew I would have an awful life if I stayed with her family. So she did me the biggest favor of all time to give me to the two greatest parents. Absolutely love me to death, and my whole entire family is just so incredible. So I look at the whole situation like a giant pro, because I wake up every single day extremely blessed, fortunate, and just extremely happy, like I'm living my dream life. But the only con is that her family still doesn't know I exist.
Yeah, you're that little secret. Now, this is West Virginia from what she said. So, West Virginia, y'all know how they go out there, man. Hey, she's going to take that to the grave. She probably promised her husband because she didn't want the husband to, they're a Christian or whatever, but she's out here giving the buns up to the bros. But to this day, and I guess you have to keep the lie up, right? Unless she just blasts them somehow, or maybe somebody finds out. You had to keep the lie up because you had all these people thinking that your child died, and you had all this sympathy knowing that you gave the child away. It's definitely nasty work, but this has happened countless times. And just imagine, I'm pretty sure my man was still clapping the cheeks afterward. But dudes, you got simps like that who stay with women. They go through the whole pregnancy and all that, and I don't want to lose my wife, and I can't lose my wife to the bros, so I'm willing to... Yo, you get pregnant on me, you got to go, man. There's plenty of dudes that I known of dudes that stay with women after they got pregnant by another man, man. And you think it's gonna stop? Nah. But she did a follow-up about with the father, how she found out who her biological father was. Let's get into it. Let's go.
So after I paid the 99 cents to unlock my birth father's number, I texted him. I said, "Hi, is this Kenny Morgan?" And he responded and was like, "Who's asking?" And I was like, oh God, this is not going to go well. Then I introduced myself. I said, "My name is Alicia Holloway. I was born in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania on August 31st, 1996, to my birth mother's name, blah, 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 blah." Told him that I found him online and I think he's my biological father. And his response was this: "How do I know that this isn't some kind of scam or something like that?" And I was like, oh God. I sent him a selfie of me and my biological mom. And then he began typing, and my heart at this point was going like a million miles a second. And he said, "Yep, that is my birth mother's name. And yes, I am that Kenny Morgan." And when I tell you guys that my heart literally sank, like I was like, oh my God, I've waited my entire life to meet this man. And I literally just found him. He texted me and he was like, "This is a lot for me to process. Give me some time and I would love to call you." We wait about a week or two and then we end up having a FaceTime. Before that FaceTime, I was literally, again, my heart was going a million miles a second. But when we hopped on the FaceTime, he was so nice. And just in my head, I was like, oh my God, this is my biological dad. Like, this is so crazy. This is the part that shocked me the most. After we were chatting small talk for a little bit, he said that the reason that he thought that this was a scam or prank when I texted him was that when I was born, a mutual friend of my biological father and biological mother had told him that my birth mother had given birth to me, but that I was a boy. So he thought for 23 years that he had another son out there. So he was like, when you said that I was your biological dad, I was like, wait, this doesn't make any sense. And then we continued our conversation, and he is literally so nice. I met his fiance at the time, now wife, via FaceTime. I went to their wedding. I'm so close to my biological siblings now. They all reached out to me when they found out about me. I have 5 biological siblings on my birth father's side, 4 sisters and 1 brother. And I met them all except for my biological brother. And they are amazing. We talk, we call, we text. Like, they are just so incredible. We have a group chat and they just took me in, and like I am a part of his family now. I'm so blessed, so fortunate, and I'm really looking forward to continue a beautiful relationship with my new family.
Well, I'm glad that had a happy ending, guys. Like, that is very wild, very strange. It's funny how technology has come this far where it's able to connect people despite things that have happened in the past that you may have never known that someone was your sibling. That's some serious stuff. But you never know. It makes you think. You never know what goes on behind closed doors and what's actually happening, who's pregnant with who. They're able to give children away, delete babies, wild stuff. Anyway, guys, let me know what you guys think about these videos. Comment below. Like, share, comment, and subscribe. Much blessings and abundance. Stick around for the next videos. It's going to pop up on the screen below. That's where I'm going to see you guys at. It's your favorite everything. This is Wisdom. I'm the best. Let's run it up to 1 million. Quit playing with me. Peace.